Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for the Quick 3 Tarot for Monday, October the 3rd. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so Quick 3 Tarot. This is a reading for the collective. Speaking of collective readings, I did a full moon in Aries reading on Sunday and I uploaded that. So feel free to check that out as well. Also, all of the readings for all of the signs are up for October. So the general readings for all the signs are up. The love readings for all the signs are up, and the money readings for all the signs are up. So hopefully one of those readings will resonate with you. And whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy in the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. I'm using my quotes custom tarot deck today. This is one of my favorite tarot decks. So one of the quotes that came out in the pre-shuffle, and I'm trying to remember it, it was something to the effect of, don't let people change you into what they want to fit what they need, or something to that effect. So in other words, don't let people change you to fit what they need, was the pre-shuffle energy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the main energy. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, October the 3rd. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, October the 3rd. May I have the energy for the collective for Monday, October the 3rd. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? May I have some cards, please? Thank you. And 3 cards came out. Okay. See what this is about. And at the bottom of the deck, let's see what's under here. Wow. At the bottom of the deck, it says, assumptions are the termites of relationships. Henry Winkler. Assumptions are the termites of relationships, by Henry Winkler. So somebody might be assuming some stuff. I think you need to wait until you get the actual receipts. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The first card that came out is, the mind is furnished with ideas by experience alone. The mind is furnished with ideas by experience alone. This is by John Locke. Right? And then the second card to come out, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Again, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that is by Winston Churchill. And then the final card that came out, it says, some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen, by Michael Jordan. Again, some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. So there's quite a few different messages here, and I like this. I want to go back to this assumptions thing. Something just said to me, it popped in my head, don't let your mind run away from you. So in other words, Don't get carried away by what something could possibly be, because you don't know yet. Until you get the actual information, you don't know, you're just assuming. Now, if your gut is telling you something, if your spidey sense is going off, yeah, there might be something there. But you still want to get the hardcore evidence, is what you want to do. As for the mind, experience is the best teacher. That's something that came to mind. Experience is the best teacher. For some of you, you may be afraid to experience life due to, I don't necessarily want to say is fear. Maybe there's apprehension, because apprehension and fear are two different things. It can be one and the same sometimes, but they're still two different things. It's kind of like you're cautious to what you invest in, if that makes sense. When it comes to your experiences, when you're looking to experience something, you're cautious before you decide to do it. And I feel that some of you may be in that energy where you're cautious, but there's a lot to be taken, a lot of ideas to be gathered with experiences. So, and I just heard broaden your horizons. Some of you may be cautious about experiencing new things because you failed at something in the past. But this is saying that success is not final. Failure is not fatal. The courage to continue is what counts. So you have to have the courage to be willing to do it again. If it's almost like, I don't know if you heard that song by Aaliyah, which is called Try Again. It's like, if the chorus is, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. What is it? Or either pick yourself up and try again. You can dust yourself off and try again. And then, that chorus goes over and over and over again. This is sort of the message here, where some of you may be missing out on some ideas because of something that may have happened in the past. And now you're apprehensive when you decide to participate in a new experience in life. But this is saying that because you're apprehensive about that, and because you're being so cautious, you're missing out on information that could teach you something that will help you later on down the line. Again, experience is the best teacher. I keep on hearing that in my head. I'm tempted to title this that experience is the best teacher. I'm going back to the assumptions as well. Now, not just assumptions when it comes to love relationships, but assumptions in general, where some of you might be assuming that something will happen a certain way if you decide to participate in the experience, but you really won't know for sure until you do it. So instead of assuming, oh, well, it'll probably go this way, so I don't know if I want to do it, you may want to consider, well, let me just go ahead and do it and see what happens. And if it happens the way that you thought it would, okay, well, then it happened the way you thought it would. But it may happen a different way. Now, also, in addition to that, where you're thinking something may happen a certain way, you could be manifesting the outcome too. So maybe you want to, again, not let your thoughts don't let your mind run away with you. Don't let that happen. And then, of course, this is the thing where you want to make it happen. There's something that if you're wanting something, you have to make it happen. Because again, like Michael Jordan says, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. So this is one of those things where you'll have to make it happen, is what you may have to do. I don't fully know what I'm titling this. Part of me wants to do experience as the best teacher. Another part of me wants to say, don't let your mind run away with you. I guess we'll see. Anyways, that's your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.